Welcome to the 68th episode of Lalitha Sahasranam Stotra. The unsaturated genetic impressions, the most difficult traits like greed, hatred, etc. can be controlled. Not only controlled, can be completely eliminated and transform that individual into a witness mode operation. So this kind of training is possible through Lalitha Sahasranam Stotra. So let us move on. The next nama is lobhanasini. So in the previous nama, Nirbhava, it was said that the excessive oscillation of the mind, faculty of mind, results in excessive results in generosity, that is the quality of able to respond, the being sensitive and able to donate. There is excessive oscillation of the mind, and sluggish oscillation of the mind resulting in the greed. So these are the two ends of the oscillation of the mind related to the Nirbhava. So when the faculty of mind is oscillating with these two extremes, in these two extremes, there's a kind of a churning that happens, and through this churning mechanism, the ability to restore the imbalances within the faculties, that is lobhanasini. Okay, so the controlling mechanism for lobhanasini, the energy, root energy for lobhanasini is kulangana. That was covered in kulangana, kulantastha, kavalini, kulayogini. Kulangana is essentially means it's a vital organ. It's a common organ, vital organ across the whole tribe or whole family or whole sector. So this kulangana has the ability to interlink the faculty of mind of the family and the senses. Since it is the interlinking faculty of mind and the senses, so it is interlinking mind with the rest of the faculties. So that is kulangana. So it is the interface. Kulangana is the interface between faculty of mind and the senses, and hence the interface between the faculties and the senses. It is through the senses that karma action is done. So this kulangana is a very significant. It plays a significant role. It's an important interface. Usually, when an item or when something fails, let's say some machine fails, it is not the main part that fails. The weak links are always the interface. It is the interface that fails first, and so there may be some joints or something. So it is the interface at the joint that fails first. So that is a weak link. So similarly, kulangana is a vital organ link for the family, and if it is not used properly, then it can generate excessive unsaturated traits for the individual. So, how is this restoration of balance through this churning of lobhanasini is done? Let us see. That is the faculty of mind churning. So, kulangana is a vital organ of the family that interfaces the faculties to the senses. So hence it can control the oscillation of the mind, and also control through the interface, other side of the interface also can control the senses. So the person who is greedy so the person who is greedy in the same so for this person in the same family or same tribe, so a situation is created in which the person who is greedy gets lot of donation as a karmacharna that has taken place from somebody else within the same family, within the same tribe. So since he is greedy, so he would have gleefully accepted this donation, and so since it is a donation, is a free, so it prompts him to give little bit share of what he received as a large chunk of donation. It prompts him to concede some amount, some proportion as donation. So that way he is expressing the generosity. So he is becoming more sensitive. So this is the training that is given to the person who is greedy. So this the greed and the generosity are the two ends of the oscillations of the mind for the outrage or krodha. So this kind of karmacharna action will result in the churning of the faculty of mind, and in the process, the excessive emotional energy it gets emptied through the act of karmacharna, and the faculties get back to the balanced state. So what happened? Here is this. So far, the unsaturated thing, unsaturated information is it's like this. The unsaturated, genetically unsaturated impressions on the faculty of mind, and related imbalances in the related imbalances created in the form of raga and dvesha, that is the hatred and the emotional energy, and the midpoint of these two, that is the outrage, that is krodha, and so through these characteristics generate excessive emotional energy through the excessive or or the no emotional energy through the acts of donation, that is generosity and greediness. And so through kulangana, the energy of the kulangana, this kind of the karmacharana or action was performed. So these imbalances were being corrected. So these imbalances happened although from nirvikara the animalistic impressions were removed through nirvikara, but subsequent training subsequent training in the subsequent namas, so there was always a chance to acquire through the rest of the namas subsequent to the nirvikara, there was always a chance to acquire these impressions again. So if there are any impressions of animalistic behavior registered subsequent to nirvikara, so those impressions have been removed through the imbalances associated with those impressions were corrected through lobhanasini. So therefore, here the imbalances, there are two sides to the imbalances. So the clockwise imbalances and anti-clockwise imbalances. In the clockwise direction, let us say, the imbalance in the faculty of intellect corrected through the faculty of restored through the faculty of discretion. The imbalance in the faculty of discretion is corrected through faculty of personality. The imbalance in the faculty of personality is corrected through faculty of mind, and faculty of mind imbalance is corrected through faculty of intellect. So this can be one cycle. So let's say the clockwise direction. The anti-clockwise is it goes in the reverse. That is the imbalance in the faculty of intellect is corrected by faculty of mind. The imbalance in faculty of mind is corrected through the imbalance in faculty of intellect is corrected through faculty of mind. The imbalances in the faculty of mind are corrected through faculty of personality. Personality imbalances corrected through discretion. Discretion imbalances corrected through the faculty of intellect. So this is another direction how these impressions register. So in the course of training subsequent to nirvikara, these churnings that happened, so it is possible that there were some additional or residual impressions registered that is related to the either genetically unsaturated or the animalistic behavior. So there have been the imbalance associated with all this will be corrected in lobhanasini. So subsequent to the termination of the Bandasara through Haranetra Agni Sandagdha Kama Sanjeevan Aushadhihi, from that Nama till Kulayogini. So the restoration of the order in the universe performed, and the division, the 4 divisions were made, and through these various divisions, the Universal Mother has given opportunity towards yogam. Of course, there are individuals who did not fit into these divisions, and they are refusing to go into the path of yogam. So they were given, they have been controlled through various mechanisms, that is akula and samayachara, that is para, 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 and apara, para. So various controlling mechanisms, and so finally they have been given opportunity to excel themselves, to transform themselves, to get saturated. So through Niranjana, there are some individuals of this untamed category. They got an enlightenment, and so they have. So some of them, they've gone back into the family divisions that were performed, and again they get saturated. So some others got enlightenment, and they have risen to the status of the guru through Nityamukta. So the remaining individuals who were not able to transform, so they were given opportunity to get rid of the animalistic impressions, the beast-like behavior, through nirvikara. So through nirasraya, some of these impressions got saturated. So from Nityasuddha till Nirisvara, so these impressions were removed, and they have been re-entered into the divisions, the 4 divisions, that is Kula Yogam. And then Nirisvara, there was resetting of the faculties that was performed in Nirisvara. So from Niraga till lobhanasini, the unsaturated genetic impressions related to raga and dvesha were removed. So in all this training, it is possible that through this training mechanism, there are some residual impressions acquired, and as mentioned repeatedly, it is possible to slip any time, and then they have to fall back and get into one of those loops, and then again evolve. So that is about lobhanasini. So this completes this sloka, nishkrodha krodhasamani, nillobha lobhanasini. So what does it mean? What does it convey? So through nishkrodha, the faculty of personality is being trained. Krodhasamani, faculty of intellect, is being trained, and nillobha, faculty of discretion, and lobhanasini, faculty of mind. So the next nama is nissamsaya. So the two ends of this nama are the indecision similar to the empty vessel, that is one end, and the contentment or the seriousness of the filled vessel, that is another extreme. By being beyond these two extremes and ability to control these two, that is nissamsaya. So through nishkrodha, krodhasamani, lobhanasini, if there are any residual impressions, impressions that are unsaturated in the genes that are caused through the residual experiences of animalistic behavior, those are being taken care, and the faculties and the senses are now aligned to the Ishvara, that is the Guru form, that is beyond the five elements. So these impressions were removed. So what is the proof of that? So the proof has to be again through the karmacharana or action only. So through nissamsaya, the indecision of the animalistic behavior, similarly the seriousness of the filled vessel. So this kind of karmacharana was performed, and it was found that there were no impressions of the residual impressions of the animalistic behavior. So that is nissamsaya. So it's a kind of a proving technique that these impressions are gone. This can be understood through a simple example. Let's say when a person is released, serving a jail term, is released from the prison on the grounds that he's been transformed, his performance is good. So, and then he is released, and how do we verify that this transformation is real? So, if that person is a robber, or for instance, so wantedly by leaving some cash in his proximity, and to see if that person will get back to his old traits, the old qualities. So that's a simple technique. So if the person is he has a bigger aim, that means he doesn't fall for the small petty cash. He is thinking of looting a bigger things, and then there can be another test that can be performed by making him aware through some source or some unknown source or whatever, the presence of some hidden treasure somewhere, and see if he responds to get back to his old qualities again. So if he's not responding, that means he is come out of that shadow, the old shadow. That is through karmacharana only it is done. So the proof of verification. So that is nissamsaya. Then samsayagni. The next nama is samsayagni. So nissamsaya, the faculties were in balance. The operating in imbalance. So samsayagni, through samsayagni, the impressions of these imbalances from the faculties are erased completely. That is, they are subjected to fire. So this is similar to the Chidagni Kunda. So through lobhanasini, there was the faculties were in balance. that means imbalances were removed. So through nissamsaya, it was verified that there were no residual impressions of the animalistic behavior. So therefore, so till nissamsaya, whatever the genetic impressions that were registered in the faculties related to this residual traits that were acquired through the training, that is post nirvikara. So they have to be removed from the faculties. Removed means here from the vessels of the faculties. That is the fruit of the actions that have been performed. So from that fruit, these impressions have to be removed. So that if it is not done, then this fruit, these residual impressions can multiply and again can penetrate into the genes. So these traits have no significance. There is no benefit having these towards the restoration of the order in the universe. So they have to be removed. And they are the hurdles for transformation of the individual, for the growth of the individual, for the evolution of the individual. So therefore, these the fruits, the impressions of this in the fruits of various faculties have to be removed. So to this extent, the faculty of discretion vessel shuts its door, and faculty of personality, the outrage impression, the fire elements of the outrage impression, they ignite the earth element of the faculty of discretion. Okay, so and similarly the faculty of mind oscillates with the elements of lobha and dana, that is greed and generosity. So those impressions are also added to the ignition. Similarly, the faculty of intellect participates through raga and desha, that is the emotional energy, the hatred and the body illusion effects. So with this, the fire is being set. So therefore, samsayagni removes the impressions from the vessels of the faculties. Okay, so actually this kind of procedure is also it can be seen even in government offices, that once in a while the documents that were present, that are, let's say, hundreds of years old, the old records are all gathered and they've been set to fire. So that is similar to that exercise is samsayagni. So the next nama is Nirbhava. So the two ends for this nama is samsara. Those who are in samsara, the potency of the samsara yoga, or the self-proclaimed super soul potency, that is the second other end. One end is the potency of the individual in a samsara yoga. The second extreme is the self-proclaimed super soul potency. So by being beyond these two and able to control these two is Nirbhava. Now, the previously the samsara yoga was discussed in Bhavani, that is post Bandasura, and then samsara yoga was introduced. Now this through Nirbhava again samsara yoga was introduced here. So therefore, it clearly shows that so through samsayagni, the genetic impressions of residual animalistic rub-off, if there is any, that has been removed from the faculty vessels. And hence the samsara yoga was introduced right next, immediately. So had it been introduced prior, they would have misused this samsara yoga. Hence there is a right time for introduction of this samsara yoga. That potency is a high value energy for anybody. So if the individuals are still having the residual impressions of animalistic or excessive unsaturated genes, then these individuals having a potency and rising, nurturing the next generation, it will not be of any help towards the restoration of the order in the universe. So once they cross that stage, once they get rid of those impressions, that is the right time for introduction of the samsara yoga. So Nirbhava, so that is the strategy of the Universal Mother. She knows exactly at what time when to introduce the right method, right technique towards the saturation of the individual, towards the evolution of the individual. So through Nirbhava, the training is given with the two extremes, that is the samsara yoga, the potency of the samsara yoga, and self-proclaimed super soul potency. So those who are in this, so those who are lagging behind, they are given opportunity to get back to the samsara yoga and get saturated. That is Nirbhava. So those who are untamed in the past and they are able to get rid of their animalistic traits, and again they went through rigorous training and able to dislodge many of those impressions. So there is nothing to worry for them. So they are given opportunity to get through samsara yoga through Nirbhava. So that is about Nirbhava. So next nama is bhavanasini. Bhavanasini is basically the saturation in the samsara yoga that was introduced through Nirbhava. So this is a long journey that those untamed individuals have taken since they deviated from those divisions, the kula, family divisions, the samsara yoga. So this is a long journey for them to get back into the samsara yoga and get saturated, and in the process get rid of the animalistic impressions, the unsaturated genetic impressions, and to this extent get the training. So it's been a very long journey for them. So in this training, their faculties and senses are now in balance, and they have acquired a state of witness mode operation, and they are able to align themselves to the Ishvara, the Guru form beyond the five elements. So this is, since they are aligned to the Ishvara, the Guru form, so they are able to draw the nectar of unconditional unification of Universal Father and Universal Mother, that is Kameshvara and Vishwamata. So this, and their mind is always in the current. So now it is a time for them to get saturated in the samsara yoga. So meaning now it is time for them to use their potency and nurture future generation, introduce future generations with qualities and traits, characteristics that are not having any no sign of impression of unsaturated genes, nor animalistic beast-like behavior. So that is by nurturing the future generation, these individuals are getting saturated. That is bhavanasini. So they are like a lotus flower in the medium of water. That is not that can be a slushy water, that can be muddy water, it can be a sewage water, but it doesn't matter because they are transformed themselves into a lotus flower. And the lotus, once when it is introduced into the water, it simply multiplies. It can multiply over time. So it generates a multiple replica of this witness mode operation. So similarly, this bhavanasini does nurture the future generation, and by doing that they get saturated. So that's about bhavanasini. So this completes this sloka, this nama completes this sloka. Nissamsaya, samsayagni, Nirbhava, bhavanasini. So through nissamsaya, faculty of mind is being trained, and samsayagni, faculty of discretion, Nirbhava, faculty of intellect, and bhavanasini, faculty of mind, is receiving the training. So the remaining namas we will explore in the next episode. Thank you.